I'm gonna do my makeup, and someone asked me about my skincare, and I shared some vitamin tips and something I do like occasionally for acne, and you kind of want to do that kind of stuff regularly before things get bumpy, if you know what I mean. So I wash my face. Let me put my hair back. Oh, my outfit. This is my outfit. This top I got from Saks off Fifth. It's called Raga, R-A-G-A. You don't even need to wear anything under because it's just so flowy and bohemian and cute. So I'll show you. You can even tie it. I made another video where I wore this, so I have a lot of clothes and a lot in boxes, so I just brought a couple of items. So let me do my makeup. So first, after I wash my face, I use this. It's called Paula's Choice Pore Normalizing Cleanser. Not too abrasive where you could use it on a daily basis. My husband uses it. So after the face washing, I use this Laneige Cream Skin Toner and Moisturizer. The lovely people at Sephora in my neighborhood stated that it helps improve the absorption of your existing moisturizer, like takes it up a notch. So I'm giving it a go. You know, gone through that much. Going through that much has taken me 2 months. I don't know if I'm not putting enough on. So I got that, and then my moisturizer, day in, day out. Kiehl's, not the SPF one, but just the regular Ultra Facial Cream. I've tried the SPF one. It's kind of heavy. I get many samples because I'm a consumer whore, but I get a lot of samples from Sephora, and most of the creams, I just end up using it on my body, you know, just taking care of my my tummy and my bottom or something, you know, because I can't seem to find one that I like as much as this one. So that's the face cream. I don't know if I put it on. I noticed that when I don't put it on like an even distribution, like all over my face, because I'll go like this and I'll skip over here, it'll have like a dry, scaly patch, which says a lot about me because I'm very sloppy. I don't go to the edge. So I'm putting in the extra effort to go like that and like that and like really evenly distribute it, because I think it makes a difference. From like my sloppiness, I noticed what could happen when you don't put it all the way to the edge. And I recall a girlfriend, also a former coworker where I used to work, she was at my house one day and she was having a piece of toast, and she put jam like beautifully from end to end of the toast, evenly distributed, like a very careful, thoughtful person. And I, all my life, had spread the jam like that, not to the edges where you get a bite of jam like every bite. So it made me think of that when I realized I had like scaly skin on the edges, because I just wasn't thoughtful and thorough. So what are my flaws that I'm working on? So after that, I let it dry. Let's just pretend it dried. I'm trying out my mom's new Secret sun cream. It's kind of cute how they call it sun cream. I never heard of that. They always call it like sunscreen, sunblock in America. So getting more in touch with my Korean side. So let's get that everywhere. And I get pigmentation like right here. And I'm freckly, and plus I'm not as cautious as I should be with like a hat all the time. So I'll put like, make sure that I'll get it there. That's my problem area. I'm not sure if I'm a believer in primer, and I've gone through a lot in the last 4 or 5 years, just samples delivered and, you know, your Sephora Play, which is like a sample box. And I could not find one other than like Tatcha, that canvas that I used to use, that I liked. So, but I came across this one, Pores Be Gone, from Hello Fab. And it states it's mattifying, but it doesn't make me matte. It kind of like looks more hydrating and plumpy. So that's what I use. And I don't use it near my eyes, or I just use it here. Right there. Kind of let that dry. And I am looking for a full coverage that looks natural as hell, and in my color. And I'm trying not to powder, so I thought of an alternative method, which was to apply a full coverage hydrating effect foundation, a thin layer, and then on the top of that add another thin layer of a mattifying foundation. So my foundation I like is called Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, Super Coverage. So it's multi-use, I'm going to use as foundation. Depending on how tan I get, I go from light beige to natural beige. These are both supposedly natural beige. So I'll apply that. Not too heavy, because I'm going to apply another foundation on top as like a foundation slash powder substitute to reduce the drying look. And also sometimes when you use when I use certain powders, as soon as you put the powder on, it takes the coverage off of the area, like my eye area, and it changes in color. So if I can avoid powder other than my under eye, I'll try all kinds of experiments to see what I can do to get around that. Working on being thorough, more careful and ladylike, because I'm quite sloppy. I'll use a little bit more. And you would think because it's just a little bottle and it's intended to be concealer, I shouldn't be using it. It's costly as foundation, but I find that I go through it at the same pace, so that's how I justify it. I'm not going anywhere really special. I just want to look good for myself. Okay, so that's that. And then what I use is Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin. And this is in the color Y315. And it's kind of like drying, so when I put it on, I can't like rub it as much as I do my Born This Way, so I have to like pat. So here we go. I got a little one too for when I travel. I got a sample. So. And this one kind of like bounce it around and move it around. It dries quick too, so it has a nice fragrant smell, which a lot of people probably would not appreciate if they have scent issues, but I like it. I'm like, oh, I'm a lady. A lady with perfume and chemicals on my face. So that's that. I can get a closer look. So that's gonna dry out and be the substitute for my powder. You know, even without this second layer, the other one, the Born This Way, it states to be 24 hour, I believe, or like super long lasting. So it's just like vanity on top of vanity. So we're just testing the limits, like the frontier of vanity. let's see if I can get a close up. So, lighting, no. Most of my pictures, I don't use a filter. I just started using it for fun, but most of my pictures, it's a good reflection of how it looks. So I'll put up a picture in this with more sunlight, natural sunlight, so you can see. For my concealer, I like Makeup Forever. The other one I like is the MAC, the 24-hour. But sometimes I find that can look a little drying, but it has more coverage, in my opinion, than this one. But this one's just more flattering at 41. I've got two colors, like 31.5 and 34. So one is too light and one is too dark for the under eye, but perfect for the skin. So what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of the dark in with the light. And then on all the other problem areas, just use that darker concealer. Like freckles, here, right here. I would like to let it sit and do stuff, but you know, I'm just impatient, so. My biggest concern is like cakiness, dryness, appearance of dryness, because I am applying a lot of stuff. So most of the times, like I find that when I get a primer sample, it does something to my already existing makeup regimen where it doesn't look as flattering. But currently, that Hello Fab has been working out. I noticed that I don't put so much effort into making sure my foundation is even here, so I work on that. I'm very sloppy. One of my biggest flaws, sloppy, and kind of got through life on charm and sloppiness, and it's kind of catching up with me. So, trying to make small changes, like on my lotion, on my toast. Start from there. So you can see that. So I mean, it's not super full coverage, and you can put more foundation, the first layer or the second layer, depending on what is more flattering for each girl skin type, each lady. Okay. Still on the hunt for more full coverage and less like creasing with my concealer. What I don't understand is why somebody like a brand doesn't come out with a concealer and the under eye powder all together. It's like you get one and then you move on to the other, but they should sell it as a set. And with like the brush or the sponge just for that eye, you know, just make that extra couple bucks. Because I'm like buying a concealer here and then like doing my research for the most suitable powder for it, like on a different website and a different department store, a different brand. Okay, so that's that. I use Bye Bye Pores pressed translucent powder, and this is the only one I can find that's flattering, as well as soon as I put it on, it doesn't look like it absorbed the powder and removed some of the coverage. So and I find that I do have to powder because no matter how, you know, setting a concealer claims to be, even with my awesome waterproof, heat-proof, life-proof mascara, it'll smudge. And so I just do that. I don't do any touch-ups throughout the day unless I'm trying to really look my best. Then I'll just touch up like concealer like here or somewhere here, but I can't really do it here because I already have set it with powder. This is a Sephora sponge. I've gone through, you know, the orange one, the green Echo one, the Morphe one, you name it. And for some reason, the Sephora one, it's just more durable and has a good bounce. And it could sustain like daily washes without it deteriorating for me so fast. Plus, it's inexpensive. But they just keep selling like gimmicky new stuff, and they just don't have like one basic where a girl can just go and get it. Like girls, ladies want to be treated like ladies, you know. Don't have them on their tippy toes for a product or a sale, especially if you're like a big store. So that's that. I think it looks better in person. I find that I'm so vain that I have to make sure that it looks better in person than in pictures. So I'm going to do the rest of my makeup like my bronzer, my blush, and yada, yada, yada. So I hope it was informative. I'm not sure about this one yet because we have to see if I get acne, which I generally don't. So it has to be I don't have sensitive skin. I have like roughest skin ever. So if something is like really causing a noticeable effect consistently, I notice. Anyways, have a lovely day. Life is full of uncertain choices for me these days, but I have a good temperament and a lot of love and support. And so I realize that every time I look back, almost everybody I meet, like, that I just care about, they're still in my life, and they're like so like wanting to see me, and I'm hanging out at my folks, and my mom's like, you could live here forever. She wants to be like best friends with me all of a sudden, make up for old times. Anyways, we'll keep in touch.